Hi, I'm Eileen Cullerton, founder and CEO of the Emergency 2.0 Wiki, and what I'd like to do today is to share with you 5 tips on how you can use social media to reach out and help in disasters. Now, when we watch disasters unfolding on the TV or on the internet, whether it's in our country or somewhere else across the world, we often want to help, but we don't know what to do, especially if we don't have cash to give. So what I'd like to share with you today are some tips on what you can do wherever you are using social media to reach out and help people in a disaster. Now, the examples that I'm going to be using relate to a bushfire crisis that's going on right now as I speak in Australia, in New South Wales, just near Sydney, and it's a very nasty bushfire. But these tips that I'm going to share with you, you can use for any type of disaster. So the 5 tips that I'll be walking you through today are: number 1, share official agency information. I'll show you how to do that, how to share preparedness tips, how to encourage first responders and volunteers, how to share appeal information, and of course sharing the Emergency 2.0 Wiki. So the first thing that you can do is that you can actually use your social networks to share official agency information. And as you can see, what I've done here is I've shared a link from the New South Wales Fire and Rescue Service Facebook page in which they're talking about following, to keep up with the news, you can actually follow them on live stream on Facebook. So that's something that I'm doing, and now this is really important for us to do. It's only a small thing to do, but it's really important because the way that the Facebook news feeds work at the moment is that even if you're following the New South Wales fire service or whatever the emergency agency is, you're not necessarily going to receive their updates in your news stream. But if a friend, like me for instance, so if I click on that and share that in my news feed, then my friends are more likely to see it. So it's something that it's a really simple thing that you can do, but it really can help save lives. Now, another thing that you can do is you can actually use your social media channels to share preparedness tips. And as you can see, what I've done here is I've used my Facebook page to share with everyone a link to an emergency smartphone app. And this one is called, this is the bushfire app for New South Wales, and it's called Fires Near Me. And the wonderful thing about this app is that it works on your location. So if you're within 50 kilometres of a bushfire, you'll receive an alert, and you can also, anyone can look at the app and see it also has a map with all the bushfires that are burning around the state. So now I'd also like to just take a moment just to encourage you to check out the apps directory on the wiki. We've got lots and lots of apps for all types of emergencies, from bushfires to floods to tsunamis, earthquakes, and so on. And there are some apps that are global, so wherever you are in the world, that app will work for you. And then there are some that are just country based. Now, I just really encourage you now, while you think of it just for yourself, to go and check out the apps directory and see if there's an app for your country. And the thing is that emergency apps save lives, but they can't if they're not on your phone. Okay, so I encourage you to do that and to share apps with your friends. Now, another thing that you can do in terms of preparedness tips is you can encourage, if you do have friends or family that do have to evacuate for a disaster, encourage them to think about uploading important documents and photos and videos online up into the cloud. It's something that you can do really, really quickly, and I have to say from personal experience, as a child, where I was in a devastating cyclone in Australia called Cyclone Tracy, and we lost absolutely everything, including all the photo albums, and you know, everything can be replaced, but photo albums are just, they're just so precious. So that's just a really important thing that you can do. And again, we've got these tips on the wiki, of course. Oh, now I don't know if you can quite read that tweet, but it's saying that you can upload your important photos and everything to the cloud via Google Docs and also Dropbox. So if you hop onto the wiki as well, it'll give you links to do that. And now, one of the most powerful things that you can do in a time of disaster is to actually use your social networks to encourage and thank first responders and volunteers. It's just amazing what a difference it makes to them, and I have to say, from attending disaster conferences, it's something that emergency services have shared, just what a difference it makes when people get onto their Facebook page and they say, "Go the Fireys," which is what we call them down here in Australia, the Fireys, and it really does make a difference. So even if you do that one small thing, it really does help. So I encourage you to get on and just say thank you. Now, for tip number 4, this is about sharing appeal information. Now, ideally, one of the best things, obviously, that you can do to help a disaster is if you can send cash. But if you can't, and many people can't, they're not in a position at this point in their lives. And so if you can't, one thing that you absolutely can do that really will help is to share Facebook appeals and also Twitter appeals and other social media appeals for donations. You can share that with your friends and with your social networks. What you're doing is you're really helping to raise the profile of that disaster and also to help the charity. And research has shown that I'm more likely to give to an appeal if someone sends me a post. A friend of mine sends me a post via Facebook, because there it is in front of me. And again, it's similar to what I was talking about before with emergency agencies, Facebook posts and things, is that they may be sending that information out to all their followers, but not everyone sees it because of the way the whole newsfeed thing works. So your one click can really make a difference in helping a disaster. And the 5th and last tip is to share the link to the Emergency 2.0 wiki, and there's a whole wealth of resources on there on how you can prepare for an emergency, how to use social media during an emergency and after the emergency, of course, because how you use social media in each of those phases is very different. We've got, you probably can't quite see it there, but that's where we've got our apps directory, and we've got videos, and we've got links to maps and all sorts of things. So we also have an accessibility toolkit, which is really, so if you know people who do have a disability and may have some issues accessing social media, then we've got a toolkit there that you can also send them the link to. So I encourage you to check out the wiki at www.emergency20wiki.org/wiki. Check it out and please share it with your friends. So that's it. Thank you very much for watching the video. You now have 5 tips on how you can use social media to reach out and help in disasters, whether it's in your own country or whether it's in another country on the other side of the planet, we can all reach out to help people in need in times of disaster. Thank you very much and have a great day.